I need to tell you about something that literally just happened tonight, because it is proof that even when things seem like the end of the world, something amazing can come out of it. In order for this story to make sense, we have to go back to the beginning. I took my first ever solo trip from Seattle to Phoenix, and it changed my perspective on everything. If you're a single hopeless romantic and feel like you're missing out by not being in a relationship, I'm here to prove you wrong. You don't need a partner to have fun or feel loved. On this trip, I saw Megan Thee Stallion and Glorilla, rode a hot air balloon, and explored the city alone. Some people might think that sounds lonely, but why? The one person you're guaranteed to have in your life forever is you. And for the longest time, I used to hate being single. Society and media had me convinced that without a partner, I was always missing out on something. I have great friends and a loving family, but without a romantic partner, I just felt empty. I used to think being by myself wasn't enough for a fulfilling life. I was a chaser, a people pleaser, and would ignore my needs just for a label. I was always waiting for someone to join me in my adventures, putting things on hold until I had a boyfriend. This way of thinking is exhausting, and sometimes you can meet great people even when you're alone. I mean, I met so many cool people on this trip, just listen to the story. The audio messed up here, so I'll just explain. Basically, before I left my hotel to grab dinner, I saw a girl checking in, also going to the Megan Thee Stallion concert. I thought about approaching her, but got nervous. And later, I got lost at Papago Park with no phone service. It was 90 degrees, dark, scary, but eventually I found my way back by retracing my steps and finding a family that helped me to the parking lot. When I got back to my hotel, I saw the same girl from earlier in the lobby hours later, and I mustered up the courage to talk to her because I was like, I almost died. I really didn't almost die. I was only lost for 5 minutes, but still, I almost died. And so I was like, okay, YOLO, I'm just gonna go up to her and say hi. And it turns out that we realized we both flew in from Washington solo, we were going to the same concert alone, and our seats were in the same exact section, 111. So we decided to go to the concert together. And if it hadn't taken me longer to get back to my hotel, I might not have met her and made a new friend. It's a good thing I got lost. Stepping out of your comfort zone and conquering your fears can be a good thing. I went on the solo trip for multiple reasons. I wanted to finally embrace being single and prove to myself and to you watching that you don't need a relationship to live a full and exciting life. I mentioned this in my Will an Ex Always Come Back video, but last year I experienced a ton of firsts, and heartbreak was one of them. Going through a breakup sucks. There's always that thought of what if that creeps into the back of your mind. What if things had ended differently? What if you had tried harder? What if they move on quicker than you? But last year made me realize everything happened for a reason. You grow through what you go through. If I didn't experience that heartbreak, I wouldn't have my apartment or be building the supportive community on YouTube. In many ways, I'm very grateful for my heartbreak because it made me strong. I used to think I couldn't do things without another person. I wanted to be taken out on dates, spoiled, shown affection and love. I wanted someone to travel with. None of that has changed, but I did realize I needed to give those things to myself first. Say you want a romantic relationship, that's fair. But how do you show yourself affection and love? Do you take yourself out on dates? Do you give yourself gifts? List out the things you'd want your dream partner to do for you and see if you show up for yourself that way when you're single. You attract what you are. I have hyperpigmentation. I also just want to take a second to thank you guys for 300 subscribers because that is literally insane. I'm really happy with the community that we're building on here. I feel like we are so sexy and so hot. If you want to be sexy and hot, you know what to do.
I accept and embrace myself as I am.
Some people will be like, oh, don't perm your edges because they're gonna fall out. But me personally, I don't give a damn, and I take care of my edges. The first time I did this, I did burn my skin off a little because I kept it on for too long, but I've grown accustomed to when to take the perm off, so. In elementary, I used to be embarrassed about everything, all my black features. I used to be so I low-key used to hate myself. I thought my lips were too big, I thought my nose was too big, I thought my legs were too small. But now I really like my lips, and I really like my nose, and I really like my eyes, and I really like my smile. So, all that to say, fuck what people say, do you, love yourself, even though it's really hard. Go in the mirror right now and just look at one feature that you like about yourself and just point that out. Don't focus on the negative, just look at yourself and be like, I really like this feature, I really like my eyes, I really like my dimples, I really like this part of my skin complexion that is clear. And eventually you're gonna look at your whole self and be like, I really like myself. That's the goal, baby, that's the goal. When we learn to love ourselves and our company, flaws and all, we will attract people who do the same. People who will love you unconditionally and give you the same effort and consistency you give them. While on this trip, I wondered what it would be like to have a partner with me. My mind kept going to a specific person who's no longer in my life. If you told me a year ago I'd be going to Arizona alone, I wouldn't believe you. But I'm allowing myself to be open to anything and anyone that's aligned with my highest self and will bring out the best version of me now. I have standards now, but in order to get here, endings had to happen. And endings hurt. It's like the scene from Inside Out where Bing Bong sacrifices himself so Joy can save Riley. You've got to let go of the old parts of yourself that are no longer serving you in order to get everything you want in life. It's okay to want a relationship, but when it gets to a point where you hate being alone, I see that as an issue because this means you're operating from a place of lack. It can lead to codependency, settling for breadcrumbs, becoming anxious, and thinking you're worthless or unlovable. Companionship matters, but not so much that you end up losing yourself. I wouldn't have this mindset if I didn't go through heartbreak and experience being single in a new light. I'm in the bathroom right now because I needed some AC, y'all. Like, do you see this? And I feel like I have to shit. My breakup was a gift to conquer my goals and get through hardships. God and the universe were redirecting me to focus on my content. It's why I went on this trip alone and why I'm making this video. I wanted to leave the familiar and let go of my security blanket. My challenges led to growth. My soul has evolved. And if you choose to see being single in the same way, you'll see life differently. Just think, someday you probably won't be single. See this as an opportunity to get to know yourself and enjoy the solitude. Whenever I wonder, what if things never ended between me and my ex? I have to remind myself, God and the universe have 3 answers when we ask for things we want. Yes, not yet, or I have something better. If my ex ever came across this video someday, I would say, hi Sassy, I hope you're doing okay. But if we never spoke or saw each other again, that would also be okay. Because from this point forward, I only attract and accept things and people that are in alignment with me. And if that happens to be my ex someday, cool. If it's someone else entirely, cool. If it's meant to be, it'll work out one way or another. I think it's super important we break harmful cycles and patterns so that we can get the love we deserve. When you want someone that doesn't want you back and you activate needy energy, that has more to do with you than them. I am so done seeking validation from external sources. This trip showed me I can give it to myself, and that's beautiful. I challenge you to take yourself someplace nice this week. It doesn't have to be outside of your state. Go see a movie, go grab a meal, journal, or read in a park. Go do something you've been holding off because you've been waiting for someone to show up. Live in the present. And when you go to this place, think about all the traits you love about yourself or the traits others love about you. Step out of your comfort zone and be bold. Give yourself a hug. Buy yourself a sweet treat. Vent to yourself in your voice memo. Nurture the connections you have now. Tell your friends and family how much you appreciate and love them. I know I've kind of just been rambling, and if you're still listening, I promise there's a point to this. I like to look at my life in chapters. When I visited the butterfly exhibit at the Odyssey Aquarium, a video mentioned that only 1% of caterpillars turn into butterflies, and I thought, whoa. Humans are like caterpillars. We have all the potential to transform into the best version of ourselves, but not everyone does. Not everyone is capable or willing or feels the need to. Not all humans change, and not all caterpillars turn into butterflies. Last year, I was in my caterpillar phase. I hatched into this new, unfamiliar version of myself and spent a lot of time eating up as much knowledge as I could. I learned about attachment theory, relationships, codependency, the role I played in being a clingy people pleaser, and this helped me to grow. And for most of this year, I've been in my cocoon phase. But now I feel like I'm transforming. I set and maintain boundaries. I end relationships when they don't serve me, even when it hurts. I make choices that protect my heart. I got a life coach to help me recognize some core beliefs I had about myself and my triggers so I could up-level and work through my internal issues. I protect my energy and my time because I know those two things are valuable now. I stopped playing the victim and realized I had a pattern of choosing emotionally unavailable men because I didn't think I was worthy of being chosen. It's a vulnerable stage, but necessary for growth. And when I told my coach all of this, she told me it sounds like I'm already a butterfly. She said, "You're a butterfly when you say you're a butterfly. You went on a solo trip and spread your wings. You don't have to wait for something or someone to make you confident or tell you that you're worthy. Being a butterfly is a feeling you create from inside." And I feel myself changing and growing daily. Slow progress is still progress. I've built trust within myself and I've stopped self-abandoning, and that's part of what makes me a butterfly. It's okay to be single, I promise. Your life isn't less special just because you don't have someone to text good morning, or call at 2 a.m. or hold hands with. Not having that special someone does not make you incomplete. I still want a relationship, but I'm accepting where I am right now and I'm filling my own cup. I'm focused on growing so that when I do get into another relationship with someone, I'll be able to show up as a healthier version of myself. It took me a while to have this unwavering faith that everything is going to work out in the end and in divine timing. I'm now in a receiving energy, but it took effort to get here. And if you're struggling with this, just know I have faith in you. The end of a chapter is just the start of a new one. That could mean a fresh start for you and a past person, or for you and a new person, or for you and yourself. I can't decide that. Only you can. Just because you aren't in a relationship right now doesn't mean you're missing out on anything. The only way that would be true is if you believed it to be true. I don't think being single makes a person lonely. I think it can be liberating. And I hope my journey shows you that your relationship status does not define your happiness. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, prove it by giving it a thumbs up. Also, leave a comment below letting me know what phase you're in on your butterfly journey. Bye! She gave me my cupcake for free. She was like, "Oh, it's on us." Let's see what this cupcake is talking about. Oh, it's good though.